Right, guys, we have had a couple new episodes of Dragon Ball Daima. I let a couple of episodes sort of pass by before I kind of like give my thoughts on the last couple. So we'll talk about episodes 3 and 4 today. So now we kind of have like a pretty clear, like, I guess, sort of like format of how the series is going to be for at least a little bit. Definitely kind of like an adventure series or something like that, right? I was actually in episode 3 and then, in episode 4, like, it's kind of like they're walking around, like, going from town to town and stuff like that. And it does kind of have, like, at, like, JRPG vibes. Like, old school, like, Dragon Quest or Final Fantasy. Just, like, town to town. Oh, there's, like, this enemy we're fighting. There's these new items to buy. Like, it kind of is giving me that sort of vibe, like, right here towards the beginning of the series. So, episode 3, kind of the way it starts out, is Goku, Glorio, and Supreme Kai. They're going to travel to, the demon realm. And they kind of go through, like, the big fish or whatever that earlier Goma did as well. So, like, they use, like, these fish to, like, teleport through dimensions or whatever to the demon realm. I mean, it's kind of interesting. Again, I would say very, like, Toriyama-esque of, like, kind of, like, goofiness, right? Like, it's not just, like, traveling, like, through space or something like that, but, like, they go in the little, like, I don't know, Goku calls it a goldfish, but it's just kind of like a giant fish, right? And then they're kind of just exploring around the demon realm. Goku comments that it's not really too different from kind of like Earth and stuff like that. There is, this thing called the Sea of Darkness, which is just kind of like, I don't know, like a lot of the demon realm, like, I guess like ground or earth or whatever. Like there's a lot of little like floating islands around, and you've got like this, I don't know, black sea underneath it that they say will be instant death if they fall into that. But most of the third episode, again, is just them kind of like, almost wandering around. Eventually they get a hotel. Like, they're going to go to the king of the third demon world, because there's 3 different demon worlds. And the king of the third world is the one that wants Glorio to get Goku so Goku could beat Goma, right? And Gloria mentions, like, since Goku beat Majin Buu, he shouldn't have any trouble taking down Goma. Now, we'll see how that's, like what, nonsense is Goma gonna pull out, towards the end. I'm sure there's gonna be craziness, right? But not really too much happens in episode 3. That's the craziest. There is a nice little fight scene towards the end. Where they're in a bar, Goku is eating. Of course, Goku, always wants to get food and stuff like that. And they kind of just get jumped by, I don't know, just bandits or ruffians or assholes, whatever you want to call it. And definitely, like, the animation and stuff like that does look very good. I mean, the show looks super good. You could tell it's way different from Dragon Ball Super, which was, for the most part, a mess week to week. We had, like, some of those moments or episodes that look super good. Like, most of the time UI Goku was ever fighting in Dragon Ball Super, it looked pretty good. But Daima is just very, I don't know, I would almost say like polished or crisp is kind of the way I would describe it. Like, it just looks super good, right? Not something we've kind of seen from Dragon Ball, I guess, besides the movies, in a little bit. But that's most of the episode. Towards the end of the episode, the bandits, after Goku kind of like washes them pretty easily, they end up stealing Glorio's spaceship that they're using to kind of travel around. So now from that point on, they're kind of just like walking from town to town. There is kind of like, so these like floating islands or whatever, there's volcanoes that is like spewing out gas, which makes it, Goku comments several times, it makes it a little bit more difficult to kind of like move around. And Glorio mentions that, like, they can fly, but if they fly long distances, they're going to burn through their energy really fast because it's harder to move through kind of like the gas and stuff like that, right? So then moving into episode 4, it's, again, they're kind of just like traveling around, stuff like that. Eventually they get to like a shop. Now, this is where oh yeah, this is where shit starts to get interesting. So there's like Glorio's looking for a way for them to, travel to the king's castle or palace. I guess, did they even say what it was? I don't know, but they're getting to the king, right? And there's bugs that like the old lady in the shop is selling, and like Goku kind of asks about them, and like one of them is to like heal like injuries and stuff like that. Goku mentions, oh, it's kind of like a senzu bean. And then there's also another bug called the join bug, where if multiple people eat pieces of the bug, they'll fuse together for a short time and get stronger. And it's like, yeah, that's what we're talking about. So we're probably gonna get another. Well, it's not probably. The fact that they showed that and talked about that, we're getting fusion in Daima, which, hell yes, they know how to get me excited. I know people like, oh my god, fusions again. You're fucking right, fusions again. Hell yeah, yes. So I was pretty excited about that. That's gonna be fire, right? I mean, listen, Vegeta and Piccolo and them are not there right now, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be there soon, just based off of like the intro and the outro and stuff like that. Like Piccolo and Vegeta do seem like they're going to be playing a pretty big role in things, so we'll see. And from what they showed too, like the little picture does show 3 people, right? Like, using the join bug to become like some big like diesel, like horned like Oni monster or whatever. So we'll see what that's gonna look like later on. That will be fire to have that. Eventually they do a lot more traveling around, and they reach a town where Goma is having kind of like his special forces or whatever steal is the correct word, but it's gather offerings, and if people don't give him, it's like 3 gold coins. They actually steal years of life off of people. They hook them up to like this machine and suck their energy out. And then all of the kind of like just like demon realm, like villagers or civilians, whatever you want to call them, they all have like these collars on too. So like Goma is, I have to imagine maybe like that energy he's gathering. I mean, maybe towards the end, he just kind of absorbs it all and becomes Super Goma, giant monster with magic or some shit like that, right? Something like that I could easily see. Then a new character kind of comes in to stop the royal guards or the Goma's army from like, robbing the civilians or whatever it is. And then Goku eventually steps in and takes them all out. Animation, again, looks super good, very crisp. Good movement, stuff like that. The action scenes definitely do look really good with the way it's set up like that. Goku eventually takes them out, and then the 4th episode ends with the girl kind of like taking off like the hood and stuff like that she's in. And, again, she's obviously going to join them, but that's just based off of like the intro and the outro, right? Like we kind of get a little bit of kind of like spoiler type stuff where we could see that she's definitely going to be traveling with the group and stuff like that. The episode is called Chatty, so I don't know if that is going to end up being her name. I'm sure her episode has been like released, like officially probably by now, but I have not seen what it is, so that's going to be pretty interesting. But yeah, pretty fire that we're going to be getting fusion in Daima. And I mean, I would almost say, like, it's not like 100% confirmed, but it's like, it's just one of those things, like, when they put it on screen and they describe it to that detail, like, we're gonna follow through on it. Like, they don't just like put that there for no reason. So that's gonna be pretty cool. It is mentioned too. Glorio explains the Dragon Balls to Goku, how the Demon Realm Dragon Balls work, how there's 3, and they're guarded by the Tamagashi or something like that. The big, powerful guards, the warriors or whatever. And Goku wants to fight them and try and collect the Dragon Balls. And Glorio does kind of agree that it's a good idea, because they could get the Dragon Balls to rescue Dende, and then after that they could use the Earth's Dragon Balls to kind of, restore everyone, back to their normal sort of like adult like bodies and stuff like that. So I like the direction we're going with Daima now. We got some new characters. We got Fusion on its way, which of course I love. So definitely going to be interested to see, what stuff's going to look like. I think I like seeing some of these characters move around, seeing Glorio fight a little bit and stuff like that. I definitely am interested to see what these characters are going to look like in the games, right? Like, remember, we know Glorio and Mini Vegeta, they're coming to Sparking Zero. They're going to be one of the first DLCs, right? Like, we know a lot of the stuff's, is going to be coming to Dokkan. It's going to be coming to Legends. It's going to be coming to Kakarot, right? Like, it's going to be very interesting to see all this stuff kind of play out. So, let me know what you guys think. But right now, I'm liking Daima, and I think we've got some real fire coming up. Yeah!